The last goodbye. The rain fell steadily over the small town in Mindanao, blurring the outlines of the mountains and the muddy roads leading to the outpost. Inside a dimly lit barracks, Sergeant Ramon Dela Cruz sat quietly on his cot, polishing his rifle with steady hands. He had done this countless times before, yet tonight felt different. Tomorrow, his unit would be deployed to a conflict zone where intelligence reports warned of a heavy ambush waiting. As a soldier, he was trained to face danger with courage. But as a husband and a father of two, the weight in his chest was heavier than any weapon he had ever carried. Ramon took out a small notebook from his breast pocket, the kind soldiers often kept for writing down coordinates or mission notes. But his was filled with something else: letters to his wife, Maria, and his children, Elena and Jun-jun. Words he could never say in person because duty always seemed to steal away his chances. He began writing again, his hand trembling slightly. "My dearest Maria, if you're reading this, it means I may not have returned. Please tell our children that their father loved them more than life itself. Tell Elena to chase her dreams no matter how far, and remind Jun-jun to be brave but never hard-hearted. My greatest honor was not in wearing this uniform, but in being your husband and their father. This is not a farewell, but a promise that even if I fall, my love will never leave you." He wiped a tear that escaped before closing the notebook and slipping it into a small envelope marked with Maria's name. He tucked it inside his bag, unsure if it would reach her, but hopping. The next morning, his platoon moved out. The sun was barely rising, casting a pale orange glow over the hills. Ramon marched with quiet determination, his rifle slung tight, his eyes scanning the ridges. Halfway through the valley, gunfire erupted. The sharp cracks of rifles and the deafening boom of grenades tore through the silence. Soldiers ducked, shouted, and fired back. The air was thick with smoke and chaos. Ramon spotted one of his comrades pinned down, bleeding, unable to move. Without hesitation, he ran toward him, dragging the soldier behind cover. A bullet grazed his arm, but he gritted his teeth and kept going. Then he saw it, an enemy grenade rolling near his squad. Without thinking, Ramon threw himself forward, grabbing it and hurling it away. It exploded midair, but the force knocked him off his feet. As he lay on the ground, the world around him faded into muffled echoes of battle. His breathing grew shallow, and pain spread across his body like fire. In those fleeting moments, he thought of Maria's smile, of Elena's laughter, of Jun-jun's small hands clutching his finger. His last whisper was not a cry of pain, but a quiet prayer. "Lord, let them know. This is my last goodbye, but not the end of my love." Days later, in their small home, Maria received a sealed envelope from a fellow soldier. Her hands trembled as she opened it and saw Ramon's familiar handwriting. Tears streamed down her face as she read his words, her heart breaking yet swelling with pride. Outside, their children played, unaware of the full weight of what their father had sacrificed. But Maria knew one thing: Ramon's last goodbye was not just an ending. It was a legacy of love, courage, and honor that would live on in their hearts forever.